All right, what's up, y'all? So, SummerSlam happening on Saturday. You know what I'm saying? Cody Rhodes defending against Solo Sikoa, and one of the most impending returns that we've had in a little while. Roman Reigns. It seems that Roman Reigns is going to return. Paul Heyman returning soon. Jimmy Uso returning soon. Hopefully, all of them together, maybe. And a lot of people are expecting Roman Reigns and his pure presence to overshadow Cody Rhodes. Now, of course, Cody Rhodes is going to be overshadowed by Roman Reigns. It's one of the greatest storylines we've ever seen. It's the biggest storyline technically in the company right now. I think the Bloodline, it's holding on. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it may not be the hottest, but it's still the biggest storyline they have going right now. SmackDown and their presentation of it haven't been the best over the past few months, but I'll give them that. You know what I'm saying? Cody Rhodes is going to be overshadowed by Roman Reigns. And I don't think that's something that we need to look at Cody and say you're doing a bad job, because there's nothing Cody can do about that. You know what I'm saying? Cody is still intertwined in this bloodline story. He probably will forever be intertwined in this bloodline story, because so much of his story is the bloodline story. The story that Cody Rhodes has to finish. You know what I'm saying? The story that Cody has been trying to finish this entire time revolves around the leader of the bloodline. So they're going to be intertwined forever. Roman coming back is going to inject so much more energy into the shows, because the show needs it. Solo Sikoa and the Bloodline 2.0, they're not cutting it. Cody Rhodes repeatedly coming out with Kevin Owens and Randy Orton is not cutting it. You know what I'm saying? It's very, very, very boring. So when Roman Reigns comes in, he can take the spot of going against Solo, and then Cody can do something else. And that, I think that's going to make Cody look a lot better. Now, I said this when I made my first SummerSlam video. Whoever beat Roman Reigns would have to deal with this problem. Whoever it was. LA Knight, Jey Uso, it doesn't matter who it was. Whoever beat Roman Reigns would have to deal with the fact that when Roman does come back, you have to take a back seat. Because a lot of the time, especially with how this company is run, they have feuds that they think are worth more than the championship feuds. So if they have a hot feud and they think it deserves a main event over a main title, they're going to make that the main event. That's why I wholeheartedly believe that Punk and Drew could be a main event on Saturday. It probably won't be, assuming that Roman's going to come back. But if Roman wasn't in the cards to come back, I would not be surprised if they gave Punk and Drew that main event, or Liv and Rhea. You know what I'm saying? So the way that they're doing things right now, it looks like Cody's finally going to move on from this stuff when Roman does come back. Because Solo's been just talking crazy to Roman, and Solo doesn't look as focused as he should be on Cody. You know what I'm saying? So obviously Cody's going to retain. And then we just go from there. My issue is I do not want to see people running with the narrative that Cody is in a bad way now because Roman's coming back. He's the undisputed champion, no matter what. So he's never going to be in a bad way. And even if he wasn't the champion, Cody Rhodes is never going to be in a bad way in the company ever again. Those days are way behind us. Cody Rhodes is always going to be booked super duper duper strong. For the rest of his career here in this company, he will always be super booked. Not super booked. Super pushed, I should say. And he's earned it over the past few years. You know what I'm saying? It's not something that he has been given. It's something that he's consistently shown that he is deserving of, with match quality and promo quality and story quality. He stayed relevant with the crowd. After I heard so many people say that after a certain amount of time, people were going to stop caring about him. That didn't happen, So Cody's going to be just fine. Roman coming back is not going to hurt Cody Rhodes. Will it move Cody to the side a little bit? Yeah. And it's time to move Cody to the side a little bit for the sake of SmackDown. Cody can't help SmackDown right now. Championship or not, he can't help SmackDown right now. Until they do something like turn Randy against them. So imagine you have a Roman and Solo feud, and you have a Cody and Randy feud on SmackDown. Oh my gosh. You know what I'm saying? But you have to be able to break Cody away from the bloodline for a little bit. But like I said earlier, he's always going to be in the story. Forever. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way it is. So if they want to make the effort to break Cody away after he beats Solo and have Randy turn on Cody at some point, hopefully on a SmackDown, so I have some interest leaving the show. You have a Cody and Randy feud going in, and you have a Solo and Randy feud, a Solo and Roman feud going in. So now you have two major feuds, one for a championship, one for the biggest storyline in your company, and you can push that into Bash in Berlin. And you can push that until Bad Blood. You know? Bad Blood has to have a bloodline story match in it. It's called Bad Blood. You know what I'm saying? It has to have a bad bloodline story. They can figure something out. You know? It has to. But, yeah, as far as Cody losing steam, Cody's not going to lose steam. He's just going to have to take the back seat on this one, unfortunately. Or fortunately, depending on how you look at it. But yeah, I just think the way things are constructed at the moment, this company has to be able to they have to be able to juggle multiple stories, especially with your world heavyweight champion. If you're undisputed champion, you have to have efficient storylines with your world champions. You know, if you don't have feuds with anybody else, if no one else has feuds, you need to have feuds with at least your top of the card main champions for Raw and SmackDown. Because they're the champions. They're the highest priority. They should be the highest priority on their respective shows. So they should have the most prominent story out of everyone because they lead. It's Cody Rhodes and then down. It's Damian Priest and then down. That's the way championships are presented. That's the way they're supposed to be presented. Okay? At least to me. I feel like the whole idea of being a champion has been watered down over the past few years because now we've had so many champions who win the belt and they just have it like it's an accessory. They're not treated like a champion. They're not presented like a champion. And this happens in every wrestling company, it seems like. They're not presented in a way that's supposed to be at the top of the card. They just have the belt and they're still coming out halfway through the show. They're not opening or closing shows. They're not having shows that are completely surrounded around them. Don't know why. These are things that champions need to have. These are things for the 95% of Roman's run, Roman had. It slowed down towards the end because you saw the end coming. But even then, the build to WrestleMania 40 was completely surrounded around Roman, you know? So maybe like in the middle part where like Roman was about to hit 1,000, that's where it started to get a little leery for me. But it's just you have so much that was put into Roman Reigns. So when you can't put all that stuff into Cody Rhodes immediately. That has to build, you know? And you can't build the blocks to Cody's long run, however long it is, if you're still building stuff towards Roman and you're still prioritizing Roman and you're still showing that SmackDown has taken such a fall off ever since Roman went off TV. You know, the WrestleMania 40 before Mania was crazy. WrestleMania comes and then SmackDown just started to slowly downslope. And people are asking me why I don't believe in Solo Sikoa. Because he hasn't given me anything to believe in. He wears a suit with Tama Tonga, who makes sounds, Tonga Loa, who does nothing at all, and Jacob Fatu, who's very cool. But you've already shown me that Roman leaves and your show has taken a nosedive. So, of course, when Roman comes back, the show's going to be better. You just surrounded your whole show around him for 4 years, you know? So Cody can't fix anything. And it shouldn't be his job to fix it. His job is to be undisputed champ. His job is to come out there and say, whoa, do a few crossroads. That's it. That's his job. Everyone should have specific jobs here. We can't put Cody and say, hey, you be Roman Reigns now. You can't. Just like you can't tell Roman to be Cody. Everyone has their role. The final boss said, know your role. The final boss has a role. The Rock has a role. Paul Heyman has a role. Jimmy, Jay, Sammy, all of them have roles in this story. The story will not work for so long if everyone wasn't playing their role exceptionally. But when one person falls off the cast, that doesn't mean, all right, well, whatever. Think about, I just saw Wolverine and Deadpool, okay? If something happened to where, like, I don't know, God forbid, Hugh Jackman broke his wrist or something and he couldn't perform a stunt or he couldn't perform for like half of the movie. They're not going to just bring someone in there and say, all right, you're Hugh Jackman now, be Hugh Jackman. No, they're probably going to Stop filming the movie until Hugh's ready to go. You're not going to say, all right, let's bring in freaking Will Smith and now you're Wolverine, Will. No, they're going to wait and and wait until they have someone who can fill the role the right way. And the only person that can fill the role is the person they specified for that role, which is Hugh Jackman for Wolverine. You can't have anyone just fill in for Roman Reigns. Solo Sikoa cannot fill in for Roman Reigns. That's my whole problem with this story. I understand the whole heir to the throne. I understand, he's next in line. That's cool. But he's not running the bloodline that much different than what Roman was doing. Tama and Tonga and Jacob are attacking people. Cool. Jay was attacking people to make sure Roman retains every title defense. You know how many title defenses we went through with interference? They went through a whole Roman and Jay match. The build of that match was, hey, no one in the family can interfere. And then they had someone from their family interfere. But then it's like, it was no holds barred. There was no rules. But you led with the story that no one from the family can interfere. So why did someone from the family interfere? If you didn't want that to happen, don't tell me that for 4 or 5 weeks. Don't bash it in my head every week that this is a blood oath and we can't break this. And then they break it, and then I'm bad for calling it out. Just don't say it. You know what I'm saying? These are deficiencies. These are problems that the storyline has always had. But they fixed it because the storyline was so good, a lot of people just forgot about it. I didn't forget. Because I haven't been a fan of 100% of the storyline. There's a lot of people who just love this thing front to back. I have not. I've been very critical of the storyline, as entertaining as it's been. That doesn't mean me being critical of this doesn't mean it's bad. Doesn't mean I don't like certain people. It means I just see through it. And if they want to make it so I can't see through it, they need to be able to fix these issues. Or we're going to keep running to the same problem repeatedly, And I don't want to see Cody being looked at in a bad light because he can't be the tribal chief heel Roman Reigns. Of course he can't. That's not his job. You know what I'm saying? It's not his job to be. It's not his job to be The Rock or whatever. His job is to be Cody Rhodes. And if we're asking Cody Rhodes to be Cody Rhodes, he is doing his job perfectly. There's nothing that Cody Rhodes is doing wrong in this championship run. At all. He's doing his job. And when Roman comes back, then another puzzle piece will be in. Then Roman can do his job. And then we find ourselves back, But until Roman comes back, until this puzzle is completely filled, yes, the puzzle isn't going to look all the way there. SmackDown itself is not going to look all the way there. And that's an issue because they put too much stock into Roman, I believe. They put too much stock into Paul and Roman writing the stories. So when Paul and Roman take a break, it's like they don't know what they're doing. And everything flipped because now Raw is good, but Triple H has been telling us for years that he doesn't like booking 3-hour shows, but now he's just great at it. Who would have thunk it? Who would have thunk? You know what I'm saying? But it's just, Cody Rhodes is not a bad champion. He's not a boring champion. He's doing his job. And when Roman comes back, then everyone's going to see how well Cody has been doing his job. It's just people want Roman to come back, which is understandable. The show needs him. When you build a show around him so much, when you build up a team around one player and that player gets hurt, the team needs him. Yes. When LeBron gets hurt, the Lakers need LeBron. Yes. This is not rocket science here. If Patrick Mahomes were to get injured and he can't play for a few games, the Chiefs are obviously going to need Patrick Mahomes because he's the quarterback and they surrounded everything around him. When you take the nucleus out of something, there's a deficiency. Roman Reigns has been the nucleus of SmackDown. You take him away from SmackDown, everyone else looks like they're deficient when they're not. The show itself is deficient, but the people themselves, they're not. Solo is fine. Solo's great. But they're forcing Solo to be something that he's not. And they're trying to force Cody to be something that he's not. Well, the fans are, I'll say. The company's doing a great job as far as he goes. But the fans are trying to put Cody in a way that isn't his. It's not his job to be that. His job is to be the focus of SmackDown. And for the most part, he is. It's just the people on the opposing side aren't really being written the best way. So that's the way I see it. You know what I'm saying? SummerSlam is going to happen. I'm very excited to see how it goes. I don't know what to expect except the Cody retain. Everything else is just I'm going to be watching and smiling and waiting to see, But y'all let me know how you guys feel about it in the comments down below. If you like this video, subscribe. If you're new, subscribe. If you have not already, comment down below what kind of video you want me to do next. Stay safe, drink water. I love you guys. Praise God. And I will see you in the next video, man.